You're watching a boy undergoing counseling in the Tobacco Cessation Department of NIMHANS. During the counseling, the boy reveals that he has been smoking cigarettes and bidis and chewing tobacco for the past 2 years. His age, just 13. India is the third largest consumer of tobacco in the world. Tobacco is sold in every street and every corner of every city. Roadside kiosks are the main retail outlets for tobacco. The Indian tobacco industry is worth $5 billion and it's growing steadily. Over 250 million Indians use tobacco on a daily basis. The number of young tobacco addicts is rising sharply. Mostly due to the influence of tobacco advertisements and films glamorizing the use of tobacco.
कॉलर को थोड़ा सा ऊपर चढ़ा के सिगरेट के धुएं का छल्ला बना के सोचना है क्या जो होना है होगा चल पड़े है फिक्र यार धुएं में उड़ा के
When I was in 14 years old, I studied in 9th standard. That time I started smoke. I inspired through Hindi movies, some movies, and I inspired some elder guys. They smoke, and that's why I thought if I smoke, then I will be look like them, just for fun, and thus I started smoking. And that time I smoke once a month, one cigarette, and like that only, just for fun. But later on, day by day, it will increase and increase and increase, and after that, it will become a chain smoker, and I become a chain smoker. When I was start, that time I once a month, one cigarette. Okay. But later on it increased and increased, and at last I smoked per day 30 to 35 cigarettes, around 35 cigarettes per day.
See, I started smoking when I was in my college days. That's as soon as completion of my in a PU level, when I entered the degree. Then for a fun sake, I've been started the smoking with with my friend group. I started smoking, in a day 1 or 2 with the friends and all those things in a college days. To kill the time, to enjoy the smoking and all those things, we started. Once the completion of the graduation and once it has been college days are out, it has become a regular fashion of smoking. It's not a passion, it has become a habit of smoking.
Very few people are aware of what tobacco contains and how it affects the human body. The two most popular forms of tobacco used in India are chewing tobacco and smoking tobacco. Tobacco used in any form contains 3 to 4,000 chemicals. The most dangerous of them, nicotine, carbon monoxide, and tar. Nicotine is a highly addictive substance that acts on the reward area of the brain, resulting in artificial pleasure and joy. The repeated use of tobacco causes tolerance, increasing the amount of nicotine needed to achieve this same pleasure and joy. Carbon monoxide gets absorbed into the bloodstream, reducing oxygen, which results in heart and arterial disease. Tar is a solid irritant that coats the lungs and blocks the airways, causing lung cancer.
It's very harmful for me, and I lost money, time, and I'm losing my hair. I lost my lip color and skin complexion. So I thought I have to quit it, and bad smell is coming through my mouth. So I hate that smell. So I thought I have to quit it.
I was burning money. It was not giving any, the satisfaction or something like that. As I was spoiling my health. Then these are the, the factors which has been influenced me to, try to quit smoking.
Smoking can cause oral cancer, lung cancer, gangrene disease, premature heart attacks, hair loss, and various other types of disease. One of the major causes of lung cancer and oral cancer in India is tobacco.
Cancer causation by tobacco is the same, be it in the smoking and be it in the chewing or any other form. All that is required is the absorption of these bad elements and exposure of these bad elements to the area which it affects. For example, in a smoking, what happens when you smoke, you inhale that. When you inhale that straight away goes into the respiratory tract and finally lands up there in the lungs. And the lung is also covered and by the alveolar cavities. And these cavities are the mucous these membranes, they also get exposed to these bad chemicals which the tobacco has. And same like the oral cavity I said, they now get exposed to these bad chemicals, and the reaction starts there. And these bad chemicals are called benzpyrene, and they irritates these lung tissues and makes the lung, damages the lung cells and makes the damaged cells to multiply without any control. And in other words, it initiates the cancer causation. And when the smoke continues for a longer period of time into years, and this will come out as a full-blown lung cancer.
This is a case of cancer of the voice box, or called larynx. Okay, if they get, the voice box has to be totally removed by operation. After removing the voice box, we get a hole, external hole like this, from where he breathes. This is called a tracheostomy. So this is caused by tobacco. Most common cause for this type of cancer is tobacco. And chewing habits like betel nuts, betel leaves, gutka, etc. Okay, this would have appeared like this. The person will usually present with a swelling in the neck. This will be painful. Nobody is not bothered about this. They come in an advanced stage.
According to the World Health Organization, one Indian dies every 40 seconds due to tobacco-related illnesses.
The body has to react. First it is in the mouth, then it goes to the food pipe and the stomach and the intestine and all those things. Everywhere the mucosa is the same. So the first and the throat, the first burn is taken by the oral cavity.
Most of the tobacco addicts start using tobacco at a very young age and get enslaved to it for the rest of their life.
The youngsters, what they think that if you smoke, the tension is relieved. Then they think it is a great hype, that they are in fashion. And the third thing, they think that it is just for fun's sake we can. So once they start for all these small reasons, they become addicted to it, because nicotine is a potent addictive agent. And that is number one. Number two, another alarming thing is what has happened is women have started smoking. To our surprise, when we did a study in the school children, we did a small study among school children, and we found that 15% of them have taken to the habit of either tobacco chewing or smoking. And to our surprise, that women students have taken up smoking.
Why get into this habit that can create so many health problems and end up in a painful death? The only way to get rid of tobacco is simply to stop its use. The Tobacco Cessation Center in NIMHANS is dedicated in its efforts to create a tobacco-free society.
There are several people who want to stop. In fact, statistics suggest that for every 100 people, as many as 70% want to stop each year. But only about 20 to 30% try to stop because it's such an effort to stop it. And without help, it's just a couple of people, 1 or 2 people who can succeed. And that's why many people need help for tobacco cessation or stopping tobacco. That's why we have the Tobacco Cessation Clinic. At this clinic, we first educate people about how addiction occurs, what are the changes in the brain that occur, what are the withdrawal symptoms that they might anticipate. We also give them what are called self-help tips. How do you deal with craving? How do you deal when you feel like using tobacco? What else can you do? You have very restless hands if you're a smoker. What do you do with that? If you're constipated, how do you deal with that? If you have sleep disturbances, what do you do? So these are called simple self-help tips, which help the person to deal with the craving and the distress that occurs when a person suddenly stops taking tobacco. For young guys, it's very important to remember that smoking cigarettes can actually cause sexual dysfunction. So that's an important message, and very often people don't realize it. They only equate tobacco use with cancer, and they think, oh, doesn't matter because it will hit them only after 15 or 20 years. But along the journey, there's a lot more problems that can occur with tobacco use. Therefore, it's not really cool to use tobacco. It's cool to choose a life without tobacco.
Actually, when I went to that skin specialist for my hair problem, so that time they told one of the reason of smoking. So then I told, yeah, I smoke. So that time they told, first you quit smoke. So I thought, how can I quit? Because it's very difficult. Without cigarette, I can't stay single hour. So how can I quit? That time they informed me there has one center, Deaddiction center in NIMHANS hospital. So you can take help from there.
Quitting of a cigarette is not such a difficulty, because I was smoking for a 13-14 years of time. Even I was thinking so many times, can I quit the smoking? Then finally when I go for a de-addiction center, they guided and just followed their instructions. And if you follow their instruction, make your mind that you will quit the smoking, definitely you can quit smoking.
After knowing about the health hazards, this boy agrees that he would stop using tobacco in any form and follow the de-addiction process.